Hello, my name is Frank. I'm going to discuss obsolescence through a little different viewpoint, taking into account how humanity handles data. The evolution of how humanity saves information is an interesting paradox. As our capacity to store data has exponentially increased, the physical lifespan of our storage mediums has decreased rapidly. We have gone from saving stories on carvings in mountainsides and caves to trapping them in microscopic, rapidly degrading silicon cells. Here's a breakdown from the storage mediums from the Stone Age to the Digital Age, including the estimated lifespan of each medium. Stone Age. Cave paintings and petroglyphs. Lifespan, 10,000 to 40,000 years. And all this is based upon better conditions, ideal conditions, that sort of stuff. After that, it was clay tablets. If you look closely, you might see some carvings on this clay tablet. Lifespan, 3,000 to 5,000 years on the clay tablets. Papyrus, ancient Egypt. Lifespan, 1,000 to 3,000 years. Parchment and vellum, made from specially treated animal skins. This was the standard for ancient and medieval records. Lifespan, 1,000 to 2,000 years. The paper era and mass production. Paper, using acid-free paper. Lifespan, 500 to 1,000 years. Mass market wool pulp paper. Lifespan, 50 to 100 years. Photography. Black and white film stored longer. Or photographs from the film. 500 years lifespan estimated. Photographic film, 50 to 150 years. Next came magnetic media. Lifespan, 10 to 30 years. Then came magnetic discs. About the same time, 10 to 30 years, depending on the conditions it's stored in. This is a 5 1/4 inch, since most of the viewers may never have seen this. We used to have a word processing program that was on 2 or 3 of these discs that had spell checker, thesaurus, and changing of fonts. Now that takes 100 megabytes. Or more, maybe 600. Next came optical media. Movies, Blu-rays, whatever you want to call it. The thing most people are unaware of is your data is not stored on this side. It's actually stored under the surface at the top. So people would scratch into the surface the name of it and ruin the disk at the same time. Also, some media, over time, this coating would chip off, or in the case of Sony, the plastic media would fog up. And they came in a couple of various sizes. Also, mentioning back on the the magnetic media, they actually at one time, a company named Videotrax stored computer programs, data on videotapes. After optical media came hard drives. they came out a lot bigger than this originally, and then they started downsizing them. They at one point had them 1 inch. Various interfaces. This is what one looks like on the inside. You don't want to do that. It ruins it, sort of. And it spins around really fast. Super strong magnets here. Take them apart for the magnets. And these are really cool optical discs here. They're sort of magnetic. But shiny. Shiny's good. Oh, lifespan on the optical media. Optical media is 10 to 50 years. The hard drives, they estimate the lifespan to be 3 to 7 years. That varies depending on how you use it, don't use it, that type of stuff, and the brand. Next came solid state drives. Their estimated lifespan is 5 to 10 years. And around that time was also your flash media. And surprisingly, a lot of people aren't aware, with your flash media and even your solid state drives, they will lose, if you don't have them plugged into power, over a couple years, they can actually lose all your data. But their lifespan is typically rated between 5 to 10 years. Then your stuff's gone, unless you back it up. But they seem to make the media more difficult to back up because most people only have one interface slot for the solid state media of this style, M.32, or whatever it is this year, M.2. Next is cloud storage. Cloud storage lifespan depends on if you pay your bill. That's your lifespan. Or if the company stays in business or goes out of business. And how often do they back up their data? If one of their hard drives goes bad and they didn't back it up, well, too bad for you. And you have no control over it. They can see it, do whatever they want with it, even though they may claim they don't. You have no control over where your data's at or who has it. So let's go over it again. Stone, very low data capacity, estimated lifespan up to 4,000 or 40,000 plus years. Clay tablets, baked, not boiled, 5,000 plus years. Parchment, 1,000 to 2,000 years. Acid-free paper, 500 to 1,000 years. Wood pulp paper, 50 to 100 years. Photographs, up to 500 years estimated. Photographic film, up to 50 to 150 years, depending if they're probably using the silver stuff. Magnetic tape, 10 to 30 years, less if you store it on top of a magnet. Optical media, 10 to 50 years, depending on the medium that was used and whether or not you have it in good conditions or the quality of the manufacturer. If it's Sony, all your data's gone already. Sorry about that. Sony sucks. Solid state or USB flash drive, 10, it's 5 to 10 years. If unplugged, 1 to 5 years, maybe less. Cloud storage, again, don't forget to pay your bill. Availability, well, it depends on your Wi-Fi connection or your network connection. So if you're stuck in the mountains and you have a lot of books in your digital cloud library, well, you're not going to see that. But now let's talk obsolescence. What is obsolescence? The time of something being useful, no longer any good to use? Well, that depends on what you're doing. The hard drives, I sort of like them for data, but then it takes a while sometimes to access it. The solid state drives, there can be sort of a pain because you lose everything at once and you don't have an easy way to back it up because they want you to go to cloud storage more than backing it up. In the old hard drives, you could daisy chain like 5 or 7 in some systems and copy from one hard drive to another relatively easy, and then you had a backup. And the new stuff, not as much. So what's the importance? Keeping your data long term or storing everything you've ever done and then lose it within a few minutes? Which is the priority? Can you access pictures of your children easily on the hard drive and find them? There's so many images that the computer backs up, especially the cloud. I'll take a picture and it backs it up immediately without me asking it to. And then I delete it off the phone, but it doesn't delete it off the cloud because they want you to store as much as you can. So they can bill you per storage. And some features some of these places have is the archive function. Well, the archive function is questionable because you can't really find the archive of what you've archived then, but it counts against your storage. So that seems a waste. It's just a scam. And this is string theory. But I'm rambling on this because I'm in a hurry. I don't have much time to take these videos, so I can't do multiple takes in the time allotted until my deadline. And Google wants you to take videos every day. Otherwise, your ranking goes down and you disappear. Or they make you disappear just because they don't like you. It's a lot of power to handle. Okay? But remember, obsolescence. It's up to companies wanting to sell you stuff. Hi. If you think about the data storage, information, photos, everything you've done, remember, when you pass away, who will remember you when your information is no longer available? Every photo you took, every video you took, you have it stored somewhere. If it's stored in the cloud and your account is shut off, everything you've done is gone. That's sort of an important thing to remember. What did you accomplish and who will remember it? Currently, Google will. In their cloud storage, they keep archiving with no one able to access it but them. Just an important thing.